Call to order, please. Excuse me, let me move this. Can you just keep an eye if anybody pops in there? Excuse me. This meeting of the Town of Auburn School Committee is being conducted both in person and remotely, consistent with Chapter 107 of the Acts of 2022, which suspends the requirement of the open meeting law to have all meetings in a publicly accessible physical location. Further, all members are allowed to participate remotely as long as reasonable public access is afforded so the public can join along. The public can join remotely through Zoom using the link posted on the agenda on the town's website. May we please rise to say the pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Mrs. McCrillis, would you read our vision and our commitment?
The vision of the Auburn Public Schools is to educate and prepare students for the opportunities and challenges of a changing world. We will create, maintain, and support an environment that fosters a sense of belonging for all students in our schools, respecting race, color, sex, religion, national origin, sexual orientation, gender identity, homelessness, poverty, spoken language, and ability.
Thank you. This is our transition meeting this evening, and so tonight we will accept nominations from the school committee members for a chairperson. After that, we will take roll call once complete.
I would like to make a motion to appoint Jessie Harrington as the chairperson of the school committee for the time period of May 17th, 2023 to May 21st, 2024.
Second.
Yes.
Roll call vote. Ms. Wren?
Yes.
Ms. McCrillis?
Yes.
Yeah. Ms. Rayfield?
Yes, thank you.
All in favor?
Yes.
It is a vote.
No, thank you for the support, and it's an honor to serve in this capacity for another year, so I appreciate it.
We're lucky to have you.
I also want to thank the voters yesterday. It was a pretty good turnout.
Yes, it was.
Yeah, 10%, which, I mean, it could definitely be better, but appreciate everyone that did come out, and I appreciate the ongoing support that we have,
Yes.
so.
Absolutely.
All right, I will seek a nomination to appoint a vice chairperson.
I'll make a motion to appoint Megan McCrillis as Vice Chairperson of the School Committee for the time period of May 17th, 2023 through May 21st, 2024.
I'll second.
Right, all those in favor?
Aye.
Roll call vote. Brooke?
Yes.
Myself, yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Thank you. I will accept.
All those in favor? Aye. All right, you're in. Lucky
Great.
you.
Congrats.
Okay, please note the following received from MASC. First of all, this is kind of ridiculous, but I'm going to read.
We're going to do it.
Do it.
You're with us.
By statute, Chapter 71, Section 36, the school committee appoints a secretary. This is the person who is responsible for keeping the minutes of the meetings. The vast majority of school committees use either a member of the superintendent's office staff or a third-party secretary in this role. It is not recommended that school committee members serve in this capacity, as it is exceedingly difficult to take minutes and participate in the business of the school committee. That being said, there are many school committees that, by policy, appoint a member to serve as either secretary or clerk in a somewhat ceremonial role as a third officer beyond the chair and vice chair. At one point, the superintendent in regional schools was the secretary by statute. I believe, okay, not me, some other person believes that the statute was repealed in the 1960s. We highly recommend that the secretary to the school committee be either a member of the superintendent's office support staff or that the committee directly hire or contract with a third party for this role. Based on the above, it is my recommendation that once again, we not appoint a member of the school committee as secretary, instead leaving that the responsibility to Mandy Williams, the confidential secretary to the superintendent. Do we need to vote on that? Okay.
I'll make a motion to appoint Mandy Williams as confidential secretary to the superintendent as the secretary of the school committee.
I'll second.
Okay, roll call vote. Brooke?
Yes.
Meg?
Can you just read it one more time?
No. Funny. Myself, yes.
Yeah.
Sam, yes. Oh, it's all yours, Mandy.
Lucky you.
Yay. Thank you, Mandy. All right. Do we have any citizens' comments tonight? Seeing none, we'll move on to special recognitions.
Yeah, we do have one that honestly I should have included in the agenda, but I just wanted to remind everyone that tomorrow is our second annual school day games at Auburn High School on the Memorial Field. This celebrates our special athletes along with their partners. We have over 200 students that will be competing and enjoying that, along with probably close to the same number of staff and other students who will be observing. It begins at 9:15. And hopefully next week, or at the next meeting, Mr. Walton, our Director of Pupil Services, may just bring a few athletes to talk about their experience. So I just wanted to put that out there as I didn't include it previously. So thank you.
Awesome. And that's at the high school, you said?
It's at Auburn High School out on the field. Yes.
That'd be fun. All right, I'll seek a motion to approve the minutes from April 26th, 2023.
I'll make a motion to accept the minutes from April 26, 2023.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay, and student reps, we have both tonight, so I don't know who wants to go first.
I can start.
Okay, you're gonna steal Allie's thunder on like one of her last meetings.
Oh no, then she's no. You make me feel bad. Yeah. Start off, honestly.
Bella. You got it.
So I know it's been a while since I've seen you. I've had tennis every single day for about 2 months. So I'll start way back. Prom was Saturday, May 6th. I don't know if someone's already spoken about that, but it was Old Hollywood themed, so very gold and very beautiful. The senior class did a really great job. I had a lot of fun, so I was very impressed. I had high expectations, but I was impressed. I don't think I sat down once the entire night.
Right.
Yesterday was our tennis senior night, which was very sad. I did cry a little bit, so hopefully there's no photos of that. We made little senior boxes for them and everything. And on a good note, we had a match right before that, which we won and secured our spot for playoffs in the States.
Excellent.
Senior week is in 2 weeks. There will be field trips like High Meadows, a dinner cruise, and I hear also a lock-in at the high school. As for in school, what's been happening is there's been a bunch of AP tests, which I think are now finally over, and MCAS for the sophomores. We are still preparing for finals. And as for the AP classes that have already done their tests, they're doing final projects. So I know I've been interviewed a few times for the statistics class. There should be a spree day for juniors coming up. And I'm taking outdoor ed this trimester, so I thought I'd throw in there that I have caught a fish. So I was successful. We've been canoeing, and I did catch one single fish.
Nice.
Out in that little pond?
Yes, it was not very impressive. I did not want to hold it. It was very slippery. And there is school day games tomorrow, which I'm also very excited for. I know there are also a lot of student volunteers going, and classes are invited and encouraged to come outside and cheer on all the athletes. Coming up, there should be class elections at the end of this month. And Saturday from 10 to 2, there's a car wash hosted by the junior class at the high school as a fundraiser.
Excellent.
Hopefully we can make prom next year just as good as it was this year.
Excellent.
What time is the car wash?
10 to 2, 10 a.m. to 2. And it's hosted at the high school.
On Saturday?
Yep.
Okay. Would you send me a little write-up? Because I can send that out. I'll send out in my communication on Friday.
Thank you.
Send that out.
Is it the same spot as last?
Yeah.
Okay, that was great. Thank you, Carla.
Okay, you all set?
I am.
All right, thank you. All right, Allie, your turn.
Hi, Allie.
Hi.
Hi, so Isabel didn't learn a lot, but there's lots going on as it getting close to the end of the year, and especially almost the end of the year for seniors. We got our last day Tuesday, May 23rd. So I really want to say MCAS testing, AP testing just wrapped up, and then math MCAS was yesterday and today for the sophomores. And then tomorrow, as everyone mentioned, we have our annual school day games. And additionally, tomorrow night, the class of 2025 is hosting a fundraiser for their class at Panera Bread. So if anyone wants to help them raise money, can stop by and use their code. I believe it starts at 6 p.m. And then spring sports seasons are wrapping up. So girls and boys tennis have their Central Mass tournaments, and then I know girls and boys track had their circle meets yesterday and today. And additionally, there's been lots of senior nights for girls and boys lacrosse and boys baseball and girls softball. So lots of exciting things for all the spring athletes. And additionally, for athletics, next Wednesday, May 31st, there will be a senior athletic award night to honor all the seniors that have participated in different athletics throughout their 4 years. and some more senior staff for all the fundraising that our class officers have done these last 4 years. We get to participate in many fun events. So High Meadows, as Isabel mentioned, we have, it's like a big complex with pools and different sports courts, and they have like 3 all-you-can-eat food. So it's definitely an exciting day. That's next Friday, following Tuesday, our last day of school. Then we'll also have a locked in at the high school. We have lots of different activities planned, and then we have a dinner dance cruise in the Boston Harbor. That's Thursday night prior to our graduation, which is June 2nd on Friday. So lots of really exciting stuff for the seniors.
You don't look happy at all.
I know, right?
She's crying here, dear.
I'm sad, but also excited at the same time.
Yeah, that's great.
Bittersweet for sure. Well, that's very exciting. Can't
Very
wait
exciting
to
time for you.
watch you walk across the stage and get your diploma. It's going to be very exciting. So, thank you very much for that report. Anyone have any questions or comments for Allie or Bill?
Just have a great time. Enjoy these last few weeks.
Much.
Yeah, is this her last one?
Yeah,
The next one is June 7th.
it is.
Oh boy. Yeah, you'll be gone.
But yeah, for having me these past 2 years, I've enjoyed serving as a student rep for the senior class.
Well, thank you very much. You've been wonderful.
You have served us very well, Allie. We appreciate all the time you spent with us.
Thank you guys so much.
Good luck next year.
Yeah, good luck. Enjoy
Congratulations.
Florida.
I know, warmer than us.
All right. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Good night.
Good night.
Yeah, thank you, Bella. Okay. We'll move on to the superintendent's report.
Excellent. So we're going to move on to our spotlight on students. I'm going to begin just very quickly in acknowledging that the Auburn Municipal Scholarship Committee has announced its 11th annual scholarship, and in the amount of $1,000 was awarded to Sydney Mercandante at Auburn High School. She'll be attending Wentworth Institute of Technology in the fall to study biology and applied science. I will tell you, this is my second year participating in this, and the applicants this year, I had to go through the applications I don't know how many times, because there were so many qualified, talented, amazing kids that were applying for that. So it's really heartwarming to see the talent and the dedication and the passion that our kids have. And it is available. It's awarded each year due to the generosity of the Auburn taxpayers, and it's derived from donations made by Auburn residents on their quarterly real estate taxes. So the funds go directly to the Auburn graduates who meet the criteria of the scholarship committee, and they also have to complete their first semester before they receive the actual scholarship, so that we know they're there. But it was great. So
Great.
nicely done, Sydney.
She's a great kid.
She is.
Sydney Mercadante. So congrats to her. That's wonderful.
And our second group are here with us this evening. We have some students from Packagug's first grade. They're going to talk about their animal habitats. I'm hearing animals from birds to bears. They're everywhere. So I'm going to let Mrs. Stanek, Mrs. Williams is here with her, come up with her students. They can introduce themselves and help us to learn a little bit.
Well, good evening, everyone. It is wonderful to be here and to show off our amazing first graders. So we have representatives from each of our first grade classrooms. Miss Williams is here with us this evening, and I just put a little shout out. Miss Williams' class did raise the most money for the Polar Plunge, so her class got to soak me, and they'll get to also go to the Unified Games as spectators for a period of time tomorrow, so we're really excited about that.
Excellent.
So today we have Annie Hunt from Mrs. Jemai's class. We have Kenley Bunn from Mrs. Clancy's class, Noah Sparling from Miss Williams' class, and Grace Garabedian from Mrs. Cherie's class. And as you said, they're going to speak to you a little bit about animal habitats.
Thank you, everyone, for having us. As Ms. Stanek said, my name is Lisa Williams. I'm a proud first grade teacher at Packagug Elementary School. I have 4 fabulous first graders that are each going to share a little bit about our animal research projects. They learned about habitats and the animals that live there. And first up, I have Annie Hunt. So Annie, come on up.
Well, my name is Annie.
There we go.
Wow. Sorry.
I will totally. Little music. Start again. Go ahead, darling.
My name is Annie, and I am 7 years old. I am a first grader in Ms. Kimei's classroom. One of the ways our class discovered facts about habitats was through watching videos. Our class all made dioramas about the Arctic Ocean and the forest. We learned habitats provide air, food, water, and shelter. To an animal, I cannot put my favorite part of the project. I loved it all.
Excellent. Your arms are getting.
Hello, my name is Kelly. I am also 7 years old and first grade. My teacher is Miss Clancy. One of the ways our classroom gathered information was through reading many books. Some facts were in our wonder anthologies and others were in animal books. We were able to see real photographs and get real information on animals and where they lived. Some habitats may have rocks, trees, plants, snow, ice, seawater, or freshwater. My favorite part was the diorama. I love being able to be creative.
Nice. Beautiful leaders.
Hello, my name is Mel. I am 7 years old. I am a first grader in Miss Williams' classroom. One of the ways we got information was from visiting San Diego Zoo. No, we didn't take a field trip to California. We were able to go online and look at live cameras and real animals. The zoo has many animals and habitats similar to where they live in the world. My favorite part was making the project and learning about the different animals. Hello, my name is Grace and I am 7 years old. I am a first grader in Miss Shirley's classroom. Another way we collected information was through Mystery Science. You can see the first grade classrooms used many ways to collect facts and information on animals and where they live. My favorite part was choosing the animals and drawing the background. Every animal has a home. Whether we learned about the animals in the ocean, forest, Arctic, or desert, we all learned a lot and had fun while doing so.
Nice. Beautiful.
Thank you so much. The first graders did bring some examples as well of their habitats. Can I have them hold them up quickly if that's
Great, yeah.
We'd like to see him up close,
Bring them over.
Yeah.
Bring them over.
But Mr. Hugo's here if we need backup.
You guys
They can come right up.
Come
if
on
they
up,
want,
come
come
on
right
up.
up and they can show us.
Oh, look at that.
Beautiful.
Oh, it's cool.
3 different ones. Each of you did?
That's awesome. Hey, you got the plates. So tell us a little bit about it.
This is the desert.
Oh, Stingray, great, cool.
Job.
Great job. Wow. That's excellent. Oh, what's this?
That's a great
Oh, oh, I think I know this one.
See?
Yeah.
Not very white.
Wow. Those are great.
Wow.
Noah.
Wow. Ew, you picked a reptile?
What is it?
Oh, wow.
A lizard, and then what's that? Great white shark. That's a great white. It's Coach Mark's favorite. Did you know that?
Nice work.
Oh, maybe we can, maybe the kids could stand right in front here and you guys on the edge. Mandy can get a picture.
Let me see.
Do you want us or no?
Yes, stay right with you.
I get it. Do you want us to go ahead?
This is so good. Okay.
Watch, we're gonna take a picture.
Come on in, Sam. Come on. Here, I'll squeeze. Here we go. Get in here. Here
Oh, he's saying that, telling us to stay. Oh, are you gonna? Okay. Nicely done, everyone. Thank you so much. Thank you for coming. Yes. Nicely done.
Music medley midway through. It was beautiful.
And you are all free to go at this moment.
Yes.
Thank you for coming.
Thank you, guys. Hi, guys.
Thank you, everyone. Come again.
Great job. Nice presentation.
Nicely done.
Good job.
Seeing my old student.
Thank you. Thanks for coming, everyone.
Bye.
Bye, Grace. Bye, Anna.
Bye. Have a good night. Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Williams.
Thank you.
And then there was one.
And then, no.
I'm here splash about the car wash. It might be Sunday because it's supposed to rain Saturday.
Oh, okay. Good to know.
Right, it is supposed,
Text to the class office, but like, that's nice.
okay, yeah,
Got the dirt for you.
yeah, as I wanna put I'll put something in, okay.
All right. Wow. All right. Great. That was awesome. Love that. Okay. We will move on to the boring stuff, and I'll let you continue.
All right. So I felt it was important that we go back to the FY24 budget once again. So as you know, on May 2nd, the budget of $30,137,276, reflecting a 4% increase, was approved at town meeting by the town meeting members, Finance Committee, Select Board. This differs from the 4.35% budget that was brought to you previously. That difference, $100,000 or 0.35%, reflects the unanticipated increase in special education private school tuition for students in out-of-district placements. And this, again, was an unanticipated increase. So I remain hopeful that there will be some sort of state funding that will come through, but we still just don't know. So I think to kind of dot our i's and cross the t's is to approve the 4% increase with the understanding that we may need to later in the year go before the town to access the Special Education Stabilization Fund if for some reason additional funds don't come through. So I don't know if anyone has any questions about that. This is really just kind of a perfunctory kind of thing, but I think it's important that we have that vote on the record, so.
Okay. Yeah, that's fine with me. We'll take that vote, and then I just have some random questions. So, all right, entertain a motion.
I'll make a motion to approve the FY 2024 budget of, see if I say it right, $30,137,276, which is a 4% increase for FY 2023, understanding that later this year we may need to access the Special Education Stabilization Account to meet the unanticipated out-of-district special education costs.
Second.
Okay, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. It's a vote. Just wondering, did we have 334,000 in there?
No, we have a bit more than that. I think
Okay.
we have close to 500,000 in the
Oh,
Special Ed
okay.
Stabilization Fund.
Great.
Which I'm not even sure when that fund was put into place, but someone really smart facilitated having that, because when I talked to other districts about having that particularly related to special education, where the funds, the costs can vary so widely and so unexpectedly, there are many places that are without that kind of option. So that was a really good thing for, I don't know if you were all here when that happened, but
Yeah, it wasn't my idea, but I was part of it.
yeah, it's a really smart thing to do.
was,
Now,
yeah.
what do I hope? I hope we don't have to use it. That's the hope.
Right.
Yeah.
But at least we know that we're not gonna be held in a funk if we do need that money.
Okay. And how do we get money into that? Like, is it just any surplus excess that we have?
If there's any kind of surplus at the end of the year, Cecilia will put it toward that.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Great. All right. Awesome. Okay.
Move on. All right, so an update on my goals. So in your packet, we'll go through in a little bit. There's a colored sheet that has some, it has some blue highlighting on the very front page. So we'll go through the goals updates, and also included in your packet are the results from a 360 leadership survey that was completed by the folks that directly report to me through the new superintendent induction program. So the survey was completed anonymously by the principals, along with Mr. Keller, assistant superintendent, Greg, director of pupil services, Cecilia, business manager, Joe Fahey, director of facilities, Eric Bouvier, and at the time Janice King was the director of food services. So those are the folks that contributed to that. So I would like to go through the goals a little bit, and I'll certainly answer any questions related to the survey as well, but I thought that perhaps this would be an item I put on the next agenda, allowing you some time to take a look at it if you so choose, but we can talk about that in a minute. So if we look first at the goals summary, what I've tried to do is keep it all in one place. So if you turn to page 2, the mid-year update that's highlighted in yellow, that was all given to you back in January of 23. So below that, the student learning goal end-of-year update for May of 23. That goal related to the implementation of universal design for learning and making sure that folks got the training and the materials and the support that they needed, at least for this year. So I've met with the UDL coaches to clarify their responsibilities. We are going to provide them with a stipend for their work on that. That's been an additional responsibility for them, and one that we feel is important to carry forward UDL. We have one more full year of training through the trainers, but then to sustain it, it's going to require people here in the district, and those are the folks that we hope to do that. We've allowed them to visit another school district, to see a school district who has really embedded universal design for learning in their practice, and they thought that was extremely valuable. So that was a great process for them to go through. I continue to have meetings and observations with principals, kind of talking about, well, what did we see that was related to universal design for learning, and how can we push that forward, right? Are we seeing the same things? And it's really to try and get some cohesion between what all the principals are talking about, because they're all talking about it with myself and Alan, right? So to bring some consistency to that. And those are ongoing, and actually I met with the principals today, and we're going to schedule next year. I'm going to meet with each of them probably on a weekly basis, with one being to visit classrooms and another to talk about building related items, so that we make sure that this doesn't go by the wayside. We continue to have data meetings and discussions with principals after those data meetings. So a lot of good work around universal design. We're in year 2. That's still at the beginning phase of things, but we've made some good progress. Does anyone have any questions about that?
How many coaches do we have?
So the high school has 1, middle school has 2, Swanson Road has 2, and the primaries each have 1, I think. So it was based on, we didn't want to strong arm anyone, right? So it was like, who's got the interest? So people that were interested were the ones that were encouraged to do that.
That's
so
great. Thank you to all of them. Yes.
The next goal is my professional practice goal, which was related to full participation in the new superintendent induction program. Had my last meeting just last week for this year. It's a 3-year program, so I'll continue with that next year. But I did do that. My coach has I've met with her multiple times. We visited school buildings together. It's been super valuable, and I call her all the time just as a sounding board. So it's been a great resource for me. So awesome program. The next page is a district improvement goal, which is focused on the district and school-based safety teams and the drills and things we need to keep everyone safe. So the end of the year update, I continue to meet with the district safety team. I think I mentioned at one of our last meetings, we recently updated our threat protocol in case we get those swatting calls and what we can do with that. We're collaborating with the police department around that. And there are some supports they can give us that way to help us with their dispatch. So we're working on that. Our school-based safety teams are much more active than they had been. I meet with the chief and the police and fire chief. I just can't say enough about how supportive they are. And they are, the minute I call them for something, they're there for support. Along with our school resource officer. And when he's not there, I have to mention Officer Lombardi, because he does tend to be on call when Officer O'Brien's at trainings. And he is very responsive and very supportive. The unannounced visits to schools looking for any kind of prop doors continue. And Caleb Moody from Building and Inspectional Services helps with that as well, along with the folks from the fire department that are on the district safety team, Joe Fahey, and our custodians in our building. That is something that's come out very clear at all that. That is our first line of defense. If our doors are closed, we are much safer than if they're not. So we're going to continue with those. And recently, Eric Bouvier has sent something out to all staff around internet scams and phishing safety. And while I will tell you it wasn't the most exciting training, right? It's one of those, online things. But even I was speaking with Mr. Keller, and it's like, you learn some little tricky things that they try to do that you might not necessarily pick up on. And we're trying to protect our internet and our communication. So that was a really good thing that came out. So that will continue. The next goal is just cultivating a climate of collaboration with accepting and including students. So again, the strategic plan was completed. I have gone to faculty meetings at each building to go through some of the tenets of the strategic plan and to talk about our commitment to inclusivity and encouraging belonging for kids and what that looks like. I shared with them some of the things I learned in the focus groups that I had with students that were really, really powerful. That kids love our schools and we can do some things better, So really great meetings. School improvement plans, which we'll share before we kind of go to our summer break, will be shared. Those will be aligned with the strategic plan. Principals are working on those now with their school improvement committees. We still talk about diversity, equity, inclusion, and belonging at all of our principal meetings. We did so again today, sharing some thoughts about things. Actually, today we talked about something in the works related to trying to get information out to families about the trouble that kids can get in with their cell phones. And that cuts across all races and genders and ages. Seemingly down, Swanson Road is seeing more and more kids with cell phones as well. And kids who are on Snapchat at 1 a.m, and then you go to the other part of that. Well, if they're not getting good sleep, how are they performing in school? So we're going to try and work on something, I think, with Mr. Scott from TV production and maybe get like a little Auburn grown video out there about how we feel about it and how we see the repercussions of what this does to kids when they do something that's not the smartest thing to do, but because they're kids and they have this unbelievably powerful tool in their hands that they don't quite understand the power of. So we have to do something about that. So that was the discussion today around how do we support kids through all of this and help families to see that they can't have carte blanche with these things because they're getting into lots of trouble with it. So
It's out there. It's out there.
it's out there. So more to come on that. The Anti-Defamation League has done their professional development with us. That will continue again next year. Actually, I didn't put on here, but this past on the half day, we had people from Safe Schools, which is the LGBTQ branch of DESE, came out and did a presentation for middle and high school staff, and it was super well received. They said it was fabulous, and they learned a lot about working with kids who are, trying to figure out who they are. And again, next year, each school will have school improvement teams. So teachers will kind of work on different areas of the school, trying to build that grassroots. How can we be better in a lot of areas? And the last one has to do with, again, the Anti-Defamation League and making sure there's that sense of belonging. We are starting some training on restorative practices as soon as school gets out. So to help us to work better with kids, to get them to learn from those moments when they don't do the right thing. That DESE Safe Schools will be back in our schools next year, hopefully being able to work with some of our students. I met with our students from the Gay Straight Alliance at the high school a couple of weeks ago, and they would very much like to do something for staff that could kind of help our staff see who they are and the things they face. So we're going to work on that with some people who have expertise on how to keep our kids safe in that environment, right, when they're putting themselves out there a little bit. And again, we're looking at building student leadership groups at Swanson Road, middle school, and high school to make sure that student voice is heard on a regular basis about things happening in our buildings. So we've made some good progress. We have work to do. There is no doubt about it. But I would take any questions if you have any now, or we can revisit any of this at the next meeting.
Any questions? Or?
No, I think that's right.
I think we're heading in the right direction.
Absolutely.
Definitely. And I liked the positive feedback you were showing, so
Yeah.
definitely some good training going on.
Yeah, good.
Awesome.
However, the trainer did not see me in one of our students, and there was a moment where I was like, oh my gosh, we had a student visit?
That's funny.
Awesome. All right. Well, thank you for that.
Yes.
Looks like it's good stuff. So.
And then the team feedback report, I was really pleased with the feedback. It still gave me some places, bless you.
Thank you.
I know, 'tis the season. Again, I met with the principals today. I shared this full report with them as well as the cabinet members, Joe and Eric and all of them. There are things we can do, right? We can make our meetings more impactful. We can make sure that, today we kind of wrestled with this problem of cell phones and what it's doing to kids, and everyone left like feeling very energized, like, yeah, this is something we need to do and we feel good about it and we can do it as a team. So we're gonna look to really build those in, but a lot of good things, and a lot of things to work on. So I'm happy with things so far. So I will put this on the agenda for the next time in case anyone has any questions once you have some time to really read through it. But yeah, I think so far so good.
Yeah. I was able to look at it a little bit prior, and yeah, definitely. They left you some room to grow, but they also, which is a good thing, and they also had some really nice things to say about you. So for 1 year down, I would say you're on the right track. But yeah, give you guys a chance to look at it. So thank you. Right. Any questions or comments about that? No. All righty. Move on to.
All right, so returning registration and residency checkpoints. So far, so good. Got off to a little bit of a rocky start that very first day, with a little bit of glitch with some people getting in there, but all of that's been worked out. We've had a very manageable flow of people with questions or challenges. And on here it says as of May 11th, we have 504 students. As of this morning, we had over 700. So we continue to have people come in, and I'll continue to put it out. We are just very excited about what this is going to do for our updated data and making sure that we have the most current information we should have on all of our kids. So we have until June 16th. So anyone out there that hasn't done it yet, come on, get it done. It's very simple from what I hear, right, Ms. Rayfield?
It's very easy. And if you have more than one kid, you can it will allow you, when you go and log into the second kid, to copy from the first, which was, I was like, oh, yay, I don't have to copy
You
down
don't have to do it
everything.
all again.
So it is very, very easy.
Yeah.
Great.
Took me, I think, 10 minutes max, both kids.
Yeah.
Great.
Great. Thank you.
That's just because I don't know anyone's number anymore, so. Speaking of cell phones.
Yeah.
How are we doing with bus registrations?
Oh, excellent. Yes, so the last I checked, we were close to 1,400, which is about where we landed last year, right? In that approximate, yeah, we did really well. I only had one person who was very upset that they missed the May 1st. And so he wanted to speak to me and asked me my thinking and why was I doing this. And unfortunately for him, I had a very good explanation as to why we were doing this when I talked about almost having to get another bus last year because we didn't know. And he was very understanding and very appreciative after that. So, yes, so far so good. Like, it really panned out that people came in and registered, of course, to all their efforts with, Kelly sent out a lot of personal emails for people who registered but didn't pay.
Yep.
And just did a great job. So we have a great team working on that stuff. So it's really good.
Yeah, they did a great job last summer handing stuff out.
Yeah, we're going to do that same approach this year, but I think we talked about potentially doing 1 week in the morning, then waiting a week and doing an afternoon in case people are on vacation. That a week's difference might help to get more people in to pick up. So we've been talking through some changes for that, but we're still going to do the pickup, which will save us in the postage too. And it corrected a lot of issues when people came in. Like, if they're like, no, I don't think I'm on bus 4, they could look and talk about it and figure it out and fix it if it needed to be fixed. So I think that made for a much smoother rollout when school actually started.
Yeah, right.
Because there wasn't the confusion with the bus passes when kids were actually trying to ride the buses. So
Yeah, there were definitely some parents that came in and said, well, no, last year I was on bus 7 and now this year I'm on bus 8. And then they looked at it and they said, oh no, this is right or this is wrong. So it did. And the girls that helped were amazing.
Yeah, we got a great team. Great team.
It's good to hear. Great.
Yes, look how happy Mandy is.
I know.
She's proud over there.
You should be. You should be. After what we went through last year, this is huge. She's great. So, good job.
All right. Well, the next section of the policy updates, this is the second reading for 3 of them. I don't know if anyone has any comments or questions on any of those.
Anything?
No, I read them when we got back.
Some fun reading there.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I'm good.
So we can move, I mean, I think it's, right, the option is to go to a 3rd reading. I don't know that we have to go to a 3rd reading. We can certainly leave them and move them and maybe do all the rest the next time. I leave it to you, Madam Chair.
We'll just combine them. I mean, we have a new member coming too, so yeah, we'll just combine them all at the end.
Okay, so no questions on any of those.
No. Just drag it out a little longer.
All right, and given that Mr. Keller decided not to come this evening, we have 2 orders of business. The first is the appointment of a civil rights coordinator, and each school district must do so, must have a civil rights coordinator to whom staff or parents may register a complaint if they believe their civil rights have been violated. And I'm recommending that Alan Keller, Assistant Superintendent, serve in this capacity for the 2023-2024 school year.
Okay, let's do this before he has a chance to say no. So,
I'll make a motion that Alan Keller be appointed to serve as a civil rights coordinator for the Auburn Public Schools for the 2023-2024 school year.
Second.
all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All right, lucky him.
Alan, if you're watching.
Congratulations.
Last time I missed, he watched the video, so we'll see if he watches this time.
Congrats, Alan.
And again, noting each school district must have a Title IX coordinator to whom students or staff may register a complaint if they have been sexually discriminated against. I recommend that again, Alan Keller, Assistant Superintendent, serve in this capacity for the 2023-2024 school year.
I will make a motion that Alan Keller be appointed to serve as a Title IX coordinator for the Auburn Public Schools for the 2023-2024 school year.
I'll second.
Hey, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Congrats again, Alan.
Hey, thank you, Alan.
That's what you get. All right, and as you can see, the initial policy updates we talked about are all from Section A. We're now moving into Section B. So there are 3 with the first reading, and then there are, you'll see the next section says policy removal. So there are 4 that we're considering removing from the policy manual completely. So just to be clear that that's what you're looking at. So.
And that's because MASC removed them.
Correct.
Yeah.
Correct. Yes.
So this one is removed.
That's here. BEDBE.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
Sorry.
Those are the first 3. That's a first reading one. That I think that one is one with the agenda.
This is a removal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, but you can see the letters are all listed there.
And a lot of it, they were taken out because they were just redundant.
Yeah. Or they're covered in another policy or.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, any questions on that? All right. Back to that next time.
All right. The next one is the Assabet Valley Collaborative approved tuition rates for FY24. You'll find these rates in your packet that were approved by the Board of Directors on Friday, April 28th, 2023. This is being shared with you as a requirement of MGL Chapter 40, Section 4E. So this really, this has been approved. This is where we're going to sit with increases for anyone we send to Assabet Valley. But it is required by law that we share this with the school committee each year. So
Just like everything else, prices are going up.
prices are going up. I think they were very respectful, honestly, in their increases, and they do some terrific work with our kids.
They do, yeah. Great.
The next item is just an update on preschool and kindergarten registration. We are at the point that we are knee-deep in student placements for next year, and we continue to receive new registrations. We currently have 37 3-year-olds enrolled in our preschool. That leaves us with 8 remaining spots for 3-year-olds. We have 55 full-day 4-year-old registrations, leaving only 5 full-day slots, and 14 half-day 4-year-old registrations. We have 1 section that's for 4-year-olds, that's a half-day program. So that leaves 6 spots there. So right now for our preschool, we are putting everyone on a waiting list. What our preschool has to account for is any child who's transitioning from early intervention. And we never know how many students we're going to get from early intervention, and we have to maintain spots for them. And so we're going to slow our acceptance at this point, probably before we get out of school. Our team chair may have an idea of how many might be coming for like September, October, November, maybe December, once they turn 3. So we try and leave some openings everywhere because we have to have space for them. They are legally allowed to come to school once they turn 3 if they have special needs. Bryn Mawr and Packagug School, weirdly, each currently have 67 students enrolled for their kindergarten classes. I know, I had to double check it twice because I was sure I was looking at something wrong. So we do encourage anyone with a child who will turn 5 by September 1st to register. The sooner we know what our full class size will be, the better. So, but we tend to get a lot over the summer.
What's the average class size for kindergarten?
So I want to say between 88 and 100.
Okay.
So we have had years where we've had 25 kindergartners, which that's a lot of work in one class.
Yeah, there we go.
But they all have instructional assistants, but we haven't been that high in a bit. So this year I think we're at like 23. Yeah, it varies.
I feel like the current 4th grade class is like tremendous.
They're huge.
Yeah,
There's a lot of.
I feel like that was that year.
Yeah,
And
we
then-
get years that go through like that and kind of follows all the way.
Yeah, because the 5th grade class is teeny.
Yeah.
So strange.
Yeah, there's only, I think, 170, right, going up to 6th grade, so, yeah. So hopefully that'll continue to come.
So I just have a question about the kindergarten registrations. I've been getting inundated with requests from Leicester due to the now strife that they're going through. Do we accept out of town kindergarten residents? Kindergarten registrations?
We don't.
Okay. So
I mean, that's
I just
that's
put that on
the
the
school
record.
choice policy that we have, that we're only accepting students at middle and high school. We've had an outpouring of folks at the high school as well, looking for kids to come to Auburn High School. And, we're in the process, so we accepted the kids that, along with the parameters we talked about the last time, 15 going into 9th grade, 15 going into 6th grade. So we sent those letters out. I think we have until Friday, right, Mandy? For people to say, yes, we accept the acceptance, right? So, because sometimes people change their mind, they get an option someplace else, they decide to stay in their district. So
Once
once
15 extra for those grades, but
Correct.
15 total.
it was 15 in each, so it was 30 altogether. And so once we see that, so let's say only 25 really accept and they're going to come to Auburn, that would leave us with 5 open slots. But we still have several remaining on our wait list based on the number we chose. So those would have to be the ones that come first. We are letting people apply from Leicester because we don't know where we'll end up. You never know. So we don't want to say no, but I have to protect the resources we have, right? And as much as I would love to take, honestly, all of them, because it is the saddest situation for those families and those kids who are getting ready to go. We had a number in 11th grade because those are the kids that are getting ready to go to college, right?
Yeah.
Sports, AP, even honors classes they're talking about, and I don't know all the specifics, but it's going to be devastating for some of those kids.
And
So,
the teachers.
no, yeah.
Teachers too are devastated.
We've had people come in and apply for positions thinking that they're not going to have a job next year.
Yeah.
Oh, that's so sad.
So it's really devastating. We can certainly, at one of the later meetings, revisit it.
Mhm.
Our problem is we don't know who's going to come in over the summer. But it would certainly be, if it's the will of the committee to have a conversation about that, we certainly can. But I don't know. I don't know what the townspeople would think about that.
Because we don't have a lot of space.
We don't have a lot of space, right? If we had empty classrooms and all of that, so it would be, certainly if you had other classrooms, you could expand, but we really don't. We're adding a 5th first grade at Bryn Mawr because of the number of kids enrolled going from K to 1. We're using some Title I funding for that, but that takes up the only remaining classroom that they have. So I don't know. I don't know what a good answer is, but it's a devastating blow for that community,
Yes.
without a doubt. Dudley Charlton is in a similar
Yeah.
state.
Someone reached out to me as well asking if we would open it up and add more, and I said the same thing. I said we voted to expand it based on what we have available to us, but we need to think about our current students and make sure they have what they need before we start
It is sad.
Yeah, it also could potentially fall on the taxpayers as a burden if a kindergartner comes in. All right, like, how's that work if we don't get school choice funds for that? You know, and they're not paying the taxes to this town, so.
I mean, we've been very lucky with our residents and town meeting members and stuff.
Yeah, it would be awful to
Yeah.
take advantage of.
Correct.
Yeah, we can't do that.
Correct.
So-
The last thing I want to see is us go backwards.
Yeah.
No, and I don't wanna preclude anybody, so if the process plays out and we end up having space and we can take someone based on the spots we have and how the process goes, I'm happy to do that.
I guess.
We don't do it by lottery, we do it by application date.
No, so we give everybody to an application date, and then we do it by lottery.
Okay.
Right, but it's the idea of getting the application, everybody else application by the 31st, and then it's a lottery. To the degree that, like, we didn't accept students into 11th grade, we accepted students into 9th grade, so if you were applying for 11th grade, they didn't go into the lottery. Do you see what I'm saying?
Yeah, exactly. So what happens if we lose, if over the course of 10th grade we lose 5 students?
We can accept on a rolling basis,
Okay.
so that is part of the school choice regulations, so we can go back and revisit if that were to happen.
Okay, just wanna make sure that that's an available option.
Yeah.
Okay. Guess to be continued on that one.
Yeah.
All right, thank you.
All right, next item, just to remind everyone, the class of 2023 commencement, June 2nd at 7 p.m. on the Memorial Field. We have about 186 graduates who will cross the stage this year after many years of hard work and dedication. This year a little bit differently than last. Last year they had a rain date in the event of rain.
Yeah.
This year they're going to make a determination on that Tuesday prior to graduation, and if it is seeming like bad weather, they're going to move it indoors. What happens with the rain date is people plan parties. Right?
Right.
And then that disrupts that whole thing if you have to move it to the next day.
Yeah.
So we're going to do everything we can. I think we're gonna get shut off here. Oh, I can start us back up. We're gonna do everything we can to hold it outside. But we'll have to wait and see. But I think that was a better choice to have it, just everybody knows that's the day, whether it's in or out, and we'll give it a shot.
Hopefully the forecast is cut and dry.
Oh, I hope, I hope.
And dry, very dry.
Yeah, totally.
We also have the grade 8 promotion ceremony coming up. That will take place on June 16th. Dragons team will take place at 8:30 in Phoenix at 10 a.m. at Auburn Middle School. I've been to this event several times, and it's just a wonderful, wonderful, right to the heart, great kind of demonstration of, yes, we made it through middle school. So it's really a good thing. So a lot of good things happening, as the girls pointed out this evening as well, talking about from our student representatives. So, all right. And then I think I have, let me see if I can share my screen.
You didn't see that far?
Yes. So, wanting to share that on May 9th, we hosted our first Future Educator Signing Day. This was facilitated by Mr. Keller, designed to bring an attention to our graduating seniors who are pursuing a degree in education. Over 50 members of the Auburn community attended, including Mrs. Harrington. Members are our administrative team, families, students, and the students each named an educator who was influential on each of them as they went through their time as students. In addition, Brian Devine, Director of Educator Licensure from the Department of Education, joined to celebrate these students as well, which was very nice of him to come.
Awesome.
So I had a little bit to say, and then these are our students. Interesting, Jackson Bolduck, the person that inspired him was his mom, who's a teacher. And she didn't know he was going to say that, so it was a really moving moment. Sophia Didinato, Abigail Gaudreau, Anthony Gervasi, Mallory Graves, Neil Grosvenor, Mackenzie Mackin, and Molly O'Shea. Are the names of the students, and those are the schools they're going to attend and what they're attending for. So some secondary, some elementary, some music.
Awesome.
Their influential educators include Becca Thompson, Elena Arsapret, Doreen Guitar. She was the only elementary teacher there, and she was weepy through most of it.
So proud.
I saw it on Facebook.
Yeah. Ginny Bailey, George Eisenhower, Tess Jarvis, Karen Ballway here with us this evening was one, and Nick Bartlett. So it was really terrific. Here's a few pictures from the event. So the larger long picture. Same dress.
You planned that.
So you can see the picture they have their the influential educators are also there with our seniors. So it was a really terrific event, one that I hope we continue to have. They kind of signed a letter of intent, and they talked about why they were going in to be an educator. So it was really a wonderful day.
It was awesome.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
that'll be something
Get a
that'll
little teary.
definitely it will definitely I don't know how I stopped sharing.
It's just a glitchy night. I
Yeah,
think.
it's a
Just
quick
doesn't
night.
wanna, yeah.
Oh, there we
There
go.
you go.
Good job. No worries. All right. So that's it.
Yeah,
for-
it was very well done. I really enjoyed it. It was great. And see the positive influence you're having and
Right.
like you got
It
it's
was really good to be there and like,
yeah.
even if it wasn't about me, hear what they took from my colleagues and like,
Yep.
you know, that was really great.
Yeah. Choke up a little bit.
Well,
Cause I like, that is so nice as a teacher to hear that you have an impact on someone.
Yeah. It's really awesome.
Yeah, good stuff. It's a great day. I look forward to next year for sure. All right, we will move on to business and financial.
Okay, so I am Mrs. Rosbicki this evening as well. The only item in your package, she's included a memo requesting an omnibus approval. As has been practiced, this approval allows the business manager and superintendent to work on closing out the FY '23 appropriated budget and bring all transfers to the committee after the fact.
Okay, I seek a motion to approve.
I'll make a motion to approve the granting of omnibus approval to make transfers through the closeout of FY 2023.
I'll second.
Yeah, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. It's a vote. Do we need executive session?
We do not.
Okay, then. Can I get a motion to adjourn?
I'll make that motion.
Second.
Okay, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. It's a vote. Good night, everyone. Thank you.